This is Big Iron out of Ironworkers Local 66. You're watching Smooth Operators Joke of the Week. Get you some.
Hello everybody, Smooth Operator here. And this week's joke goes something like this. There was a filthy rich North Carolina man who wanted to throw a party. He invited all his buddies, all his friends, and all the neighbors. He also invited Leroy, the only redneck in the neighborhood. He held the party behind his mansion by the pool. And Leroy was going around and drinking and eating barbecue and eating shrimp and flirting with all the women. And at the height of the party, the host stepped up and says, "I have a 10-foot man-eating gator inside that pool, and if anybody goes in there and wrestles it, I'll give them $1 million." Before the words can come out of his mouth, there was a big splash, and sure enough, it was Leroy. And Leroy was in there fighting the gator and tumbling and stabbing and jabbing and stabbing his eyes and fighting and throwing punches and headbutts. And finally, Leroy strangled the gator and made it float to the top of the water like a dime-store goldfish. And he crawled out of the pool, and the host walked up to Leroy and says, "Well, I reckon I owe you $1 million." And Leroy says, "I don't want it." He goes, "Come on, man, a bet is a bet. You at least have to let me give you $500,000. And Leroy says, "I don't want it." He goes, "Come on, man, you gotta let me buy you a Porsche, a Rolex, or something." And Leroy says, "I don't want it." And then the host says, "Well, then what is it that you do want?" He goes, "I want the name of that sumbitch who pushed me in the pool."